Hello, welcome to another episode of Botox and Burpees, the Bison 15. I have with me an awesome athlete, probably one of the better athletes, I would say, at the gym at CrossFit Bison. This is April Egarian, and she's been at Bison for about 3 years, and we're going to take a little trip down her fitness journey. Thank you, April, for guesting, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sam. I'm honored that you chose me. But yes, I've been at Bison for a little over 3 years now, this month, I think.
Yeah. So,
So
how did you get into CrossFit? And I know Bison wasn't your first gym, right?
no, I belong to another gym for 9 years. So I've been with doing CrossFit for 12 now. I started when I was 34. So I wish I was like one of those 20-year-olds that started now, because I would be like, oh my God, I would be so much better. But but I remember when I started it was Great White CrossFit.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
They just opened, so they had like a 1 month free trial. And then my husband at the time, that's another story, but he said, you know what, you'd probably really like this, because I always worked out. Like I did boot camps and Pilates and all the gym stuff, since my 20s. And then I walked into that gym with a 4 month old. I remember bringing him in the carrier and just setting him down, like doing the swap, he could, dad can take him. And then I started CrossFit and I never looked back. And like the one thing I really always loved was, you join a gym, you go to the Globo gym, you go for months, and then all of a sudden you take months off. And with CrossFit, like I didn't even want to take a week off. There was something that was so consistent with. I mean, it is kind of like an addiction with the way it makes you feel, but it was like something that like I would just, always push harder. But, with a 4 month old wanting to get back in shape and then like the mental aspect of it, just, being a new mom, a working mom, juggling all that, like that's where I stayed 9 years at Great White.
What ended up making you switch to Bison then?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I was there for a really long time, so I had really good friends there. But then I had like some things that I just didn't agree with that were there. And that's a whole nother story. So I don't even want to get into that. But um I knew Brittany RC. So I always loved Bison. And I dropped in a Bison when you guys were at the old spot a couple times. I knew Liz for a long time. Um and then I would always talk to Brittany about like joining her gym. And then when COVID happened, I remember I did join Bison for like a 10 pack. So I would come like when you guys were outside in the parking lot at the new spot. So I came
Mhm.
there and then I knew I loved it. Like as soon as like I just parking in the parking lot, I'm like, I love these people. So I couldn't join after that. I went back to Great White because the hour, like I needed like a 5:30 class and you guys only had like 5:15 or something. So I went back to Bison, but then, Great White, and a couple of things happened that made me switch and talked to a couple of people that belong to Bison, and then I just made the
Uh-huh.
switch. And it was really hard.
Uh,
It was like leaving family. Like it was a very difficult decision, but I was really happy I did it.
um, I don't want to get into the details, but I do want just your thoughts about when people do switch gyms, and like you said, especially CrossFit gyms, it's a really hard thing to do. And
Uh-huh.
I have tried other gyms and sort of looked at gyms, or especially when I first started. Is it like, so you don't have to go into details, but is it interaction with people? Is it the programming? Is it schedule? Like, what is it that really sort of makes that decision for
I
you?
mean, it's definitely the people that you work out with is a
I see.
huge part of it. But
Hmm.
I mean, the programming, because you could always like scale or, switch your reps or do something different if it's too hard. But it was like it was a lot at my other gym. Like I just felt it on my body. Like it was really, and at my age, like recovery was like not as easy, not as quick. So when I did switch, I did feel like better about myself. Like I don't know if I was getting better, but I did feel better. Um, because the workouts were a little less strenuous or like, I know Dave puts a lot of thought into his workouts and he's like considering the whole gym, not just
Mhm,
like
mhm.
how he wants to work out. So I do like appreciate how he does that.
Now, I've seen you over the past 3 years, and you've made a lot of improvements overall in a lot of different aspects, I would say. What do you think you've improved at for yourself over the past 3 years at Bison?
In so like movements or just like overall.
Well, I think your performance, I think, seems to have gotten better, but also you just look healthier, and you also seem like you've
Yeah.
done
Okay.
better overall in that
So
regard.
yeah, so I would say like when I joined Bison, I mean life was like pretty status quo, but then like I started going through like a lot personally and like a really really hard time in my life. And I think I gained like 15 to 20 pounds. Like I was like slowing down, I was feeling worse. And after like last summer, life was just really hard like outside of the gym. And every time I'd go to the gym, like that's where I would feel good, but I was like feeling worse about myself. Weight gain, and then just the performance was worse. And I realized like, I needed to like get myself in check. So I actually did speak to like a nutrition coach, and that was a year ago. So I've been working with somebody that I mean, first he's like, you need to like recover. You need to rest. Like you can't go to the gym every single day. And so I started like implementing recovery, getting steps instead and just not going to the gym, 5, 6 days a week. And just like, like I do what I can only go like certain days of the week. So I'd be like, all right, I'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe I'll take off Friday. But then if I can squeeze in Friday, I'll go Friday too. And maybe Saturday, if it worked. But I was like, let me just take a rest. Like I can go today on a Wednesday, but I need to rest. And I felt like I would feel so much better. I would feel better at the gym. I would perform better. I would be faster. I'd be stronger. And so I'd realize like, all right, at my age, I can't go 6 days a week anymore. I need to chill. And then like he started working with my nutrition. So then I lost like 15, 20 pounds. And then I noticed like, my performance got better with my workouts too. And physically, I just, felt better.
So, what did you change in terms of your nutrition at that time?
Um, I mean, I always like thought I knew I knew what I was doing, but I'd count macros, I'd do all the protein, carbs, fats, certain ones, track everything. But then like the weekends come and like the wheels fall off. Friday, I'm like, oh no, I'll be good because I want to go to the gym Saturday morning. But then like, you have a couple drinks and then you go eat whatever. And then you don't think about it again until the next day. But the next day you feel like, garbage, and then you just continue. And then the weekend was a wash and you start all over again on Monday. And that's so common. So, um, like my coach has been like mentally like changing the way I think like about food, about alcohol, about, how everything makes me feel. So, I drink so much less. Like not that I was like an alcoholic or anything, but I definitely I'm not like Fridays here, let me go drink. And then also surrounding myself with like people that aren't always drinking too, so that helps a lot. But they took the alcohol, not completely out, but a lot out. And then, watching the macros and trying to like stay on point on the weekend, which is really hard to do still.
Yes, it is for sure. So,
Still.
No, when you use so you've used the gym as sort of an anchor or a touch point for yourself in terms of your life. And you've also used it sort of as a gauge to how your life is going in terms of how you feel and how you're performing. It reflects is sort of it gives you a sense of like how you're just doing in life. So um, what is it about the gym itself that was that refuge, especially when you're, going through hard times, which we all do physically,
Yeah.
personally? What was it that it helped you with?
So, I mean, yes, I can't even express how like this was like the hardest time of my life. So, um, going you end up like having, some friends, and you have like a certain like little support group that you become close with. So they're like the only ones that know anything about what's going on in your life. So just like seeing them every day, the same time, and that then the workout itself, and then even like the coaches, like they might not even know what's going on in your life, because I don't really tell anybody much, but um like just the way they support you with just the workout itself, and then just the endorphins that you get from the workout, and the challenge that how hard you make it for yourself, just like all those things. And then once you leave, you just feel so much better. Like it's a legit therapy. Um and like just doing that like every week for the last couple years, of like what I've been going through, has really just helped me mentally just get through it. And because when you go in there, you just don't think much about what's going on outside of those walls once you start, your workout. And then when you leave, you just feel more clear. And then you don't want to cry all the time. But now I'm over that. I don't cry anymore.
So sorry, that sounds like a particularly difficult time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and I fully understand what it means to have that support system of the people that you see every day at the gym.
Yeah.
Um, and then doing hard things at the gym. Uh, that shared experience can really help in terms of
Hmm.
bonding and like you said, just not thinking about what else is going on, even for just a short period of time, which can be really helpful.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what what I think I know what kind of workouts you like or what you're good at CrossFit, but I want to hear from you. What do you really like doing in terms of CrossFit movements or workouts?
Um, Obviously the lifting. But I do like working on the things that I suck at, because, if there's like bar muscle ups or even just simple pull ups and chest to bars, like I hate chest to bars. I can't, I used to be able to do bar muscle ups. I can't anymore. And it's been years that I can't do them. But there's, even though like I hate those things, when I feel good with them in a workout, even if I'm like stringing 5 chest to bars, I'm like, oh my God, that was a really great day. Or I'm doing the bar muscle ups with the band again, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually getting them. I felt it. Like that makes me feel so good, even though like a heavy lift and all of that makes me feel really good. And those are like the workouts that I like to do. But like the challenge of the things that I really I'm not good at, and I feel like I'm like, wow, I did 2 more reps, strung 2 more reps in there. That makes me feel better just about the workouts, or about what I did that
Have you
day.
ever been in Have you ever been injured in your CrossFit journey so
Not,
far?
I mean, if I do heavy deadlifts and I try to like get a 1 rep max, I'm done. Like I can't do like my back is shot. So I don't do that anymore. But I did like kind of hurt like my knee, and like I sort of like pulled something in my back, and it was like all connected. And that was a few years, maybe probably like 5, 6 years ago now. So like I couldn't even lift the barbell off the floor. I had to like put it on a rack. I couldn't put it down. It was just, and that lasted maybe like 4 or 5 months. I would still work out, but not, do certain movements, but never like really injured, because I don't push myself to that degree. Especially if like I feel something in like the sensitive spots. Like I just kind of keep it chill in that workout. So fortunately, knock
Mm.
on wood.
What do you, that's good. Yes, absolutely. So what else do you do outside of the gym in terms of recovery or other types of exercise or movement or any?
I just work on getting steps, at least 10,000 a day. And otherwise, maybe sometimes I'll do Pilates, but that's not like a consistent thing, and that's more new. But I don't have time for anything else. Like I'm working all the time. I got 2 kids, there's sports. I coach softball. Like I do too much and say yes to all the kids things. So squeezing the gym in is like so important to me for the last 12 years. And I've, just getting to Bison is my main, priority after everything else and after everybody else.
Tell me a little bit about your job. I've been meaning to see you for like every time I see you, I say I got to go see April, and it's been over 2 years, and
It's been like 3
and I felt
years.
terrible. I know it's been 3 years. I mean, I think maybe the first time I ever met you, I was like, oh yeah, I got to see you. And so, but of course, now we're doing a podcast episode, and I still haven't seen you
Yes.
but tell me what
And
you do and talk
so
about that a little bit.
yes, so I'm an audiologist. That's where I help people hear. I don't do any of like the balance or vertigo or any cochlear implants, but I mainly work with people and hearing aids. So I've been doing that for 26 years, but just having just a baseline test is so important because your hearing changes so gradually. So we've talked about this, like your hearing changes so gradually that you don't know, you have no idea. But we get our teeth checked, we get our eyes checked, we do all these things like every year, and we kind of forget about our hearing, which is so important, just for your brain. And that, so I've been telling you to come in to get your hearing test. I work with like adults and I do help some people at the gym, and it's close, so usually I keep telling you to come to Paramus. So yeah, I'm just waiting for
Literally
you.
no excuse. You're right.
No excuse, but
Yes,
this is what I deal with
and
all the time. Nobody wants to come get their hearing checked. No one. I don't get it.
my kids, I know, and my kids keep telling me because I'm always like, what? And they're like, Dad, you're deaf,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that,
and
that's a sign.
maybe you know what it is. It is a fear. I think also
Yeah,
the reason why I keep putting it off is there's a fear that of knowing what how crap my hearing really is. But
yeah.
after all these years of ear abuse with music and whatnot. So, but you're
Hmm.
right. This episode is now going to make me make that appointment. So I will.
All right.
I promise in the next 30 days from this day. So by the end of the end of next month, I promise you I will see you. So that
Yeah.
I'm
No
I
excuse.
have to now because I'm actually recording
Yes.
this.
We have
So talk to me.
witnesses.
Okay. So talk to me. I think one of the things that I sort of see as a thread in what you've talked about with CrossFit and gyms and your experience and your life is the social aspect of it, but also both in a positive and probably negative way that you might have seen it at gyms. So tell me, like, how you have seen negative social aspects and how you've tried to avoid that, especially at gyms, because that can also play a role in terms of
Yeah.
things that people have to deal with.
Right. And I realize like no matter what you do, how old you are, what kind of like group you're like, or like in the place you're at, it ends up turning into high school sometimes. Um, and and I even have like my patients tell me how at when they live in like senior centers or the actual senior centers or the assisted livings, like there's still bullies out there. And these people get treated very poorly, and they don't. I don't know. But I'm like, wow, like this stuff never goes away. But it's you just learn who you want to surround yourself with, and there's different people everywhere you go, and like there's times where I've run into been friends with people at different gyms, and then realize like, no, this person's not for me, and then you just figure it out. We're all adults. But I think it's important that you have like, some friends, because they're the ones that also, you know, keep you accountable. Like I have, even like our 615 crew, and not that we like go at the same time all the time, but, we're always communicating like, hey, I'm going to try to go to 415. Can anybody do that? But we just have that accountability with each other. And then, we hang out, and you just know they're good people. So you'd end up, now we're going to weddings and doing all these fun things with that crew. But it's important, and then it's important to like be able to weed out ones that you don't want to be around every day. So
How did you find your current group of friends or crew or whomever you want to call it? That did you go to them and like, hey, you're like me, you want to go hang out? Or like if someone's new at the gym and they're like looking to make friends, like
yeah.
like it seems for some people very natural, but for some people it's not. So like how did you go about that?
Well, when I went to Bison, I really didn't really want to talk to anybody. Like I just, I knew a few people, and I didn't really, from like my old gym, I was like, I don't want to get involved. Like I don't want to know anybody's business. Like keep me out of it. Because the other where I was, like I just knew I was there for so long. I knew everything somehow. And there's always stuff going on, behind the scenes. And so I just here I was like, I don't want to get involved. But then you go to the same class every day, and then you start just, talking to those people. And then I don't even know, like I just became close with a few of them. And then they like were like a certain uh I guess they did things together sometimes here and there, and I was like an addition to their group. Um, but I don't know if it like I wasn't like, hey, can I be your friend? I guess I maybe like they liked me, so they picked me to like join. I don't even know. Maybe because I was so good, they're like, you know what, we should have her join our club. No, I'm just kidding. So I
Yes,
don't even know. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were like, look at her squat clean. Yeah, we definitely need to hang out with her. She's
We can learn from her. I mean, it's so funny too, because like everybody, the people that I ended up, becoming close with, like some are in their 20s, some are in their 30s, the rest of us are in our 40s. Like it's just, how are we all friends? Like I would never be these, they're friends without just, once you get in. I was actually just talking to Liz about this. Like once you like get in to like the gym, like age and all of that and what you do outside of the gym, like it doesn't even matter, because we all have like one goal in there, and we're on the same mindset. So you end up just becoming friends with not everybody, but whoever. And that's what's cool. But then outside of the gym, I'm like, wait, like or even like the recovery, like I'm like trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm like, wait, I got 20 years on you. I'm like, I get 2 extra minutes.
You're right. Trying to hang with the young guys is, yeah, that's
Yeah.
when you realize, you may have some things in common, but there are definitely a lot of things in common that are not.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things not in common.
Not uncommon. Yeah.
So, if someone were starting at Bison, say today, and you saw them, what kind of advice would you give them in terms of like your own experience at this point?
Um, I mean, that's funny because it's I mean, if they came to me, you know, for advice, and or if they were having like a hard time, I just would say just like keep showing up, because even like my one friend just moved to Florida, and she's like trying to like blend in there, and she found a CrossFit gym, and she's having a little bit of a hard time, you know, finding friends and feeling comfortable. And I mean, I just think it takes time. So, you know, just keep showing up and just do your thing, and don't worry about everybody else, and things just kind of fall into place, you know, naturally. But I mean, unless you're not a good person, then then you'll have some issues. But otherwise, you know, if you're a good person, you know, things just will naturally fall into place, and you just, you know, walk in those doors, and everybody's pretty welcoming, especially the coaches, you know, at the gym.
Well, April, you're definitely a good person, and I want to thank you for taking the time to talk
Thanks, Sam.
today. And it's pretty awesome, and it's really been a joy to see you over the past 3 years. You've been such a fixture in the evenings, and I don't go to a lot of the evening classes,
Yeah,
but I
never.
see. But, I know, but I do see you on some Saturdays, and I also
Hmm.
see like on outside of the gym at whatever events we have, and you're you're a fixture at this point. I don't think people could imagine what it would be like not to have April as part of CrossFit Bison. So that just kind of shows how much you've become a part of the community, and I really just think it's amazing, just like you as an athlete, but also you as a person, and I think that's pretty cool.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate that. And, you know, you're pretty awesome too.
Oh, what? What'd you say? I can't. I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
come see you for an
I'm
exam
like, wait,
very soon.
see? Yeah, no,
No,
yeah, no,
I'm
but
gonna come see you, and
that was good. You almost caught me. You
so.
almost got me.
All right, thank you, April. Please
All
take
right.
care, and I will see you very soon.
All right. Thanks, Sam.